Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy to be able to address you through this video message. Of course, I would rather have been at your annual event on the 10th of November as planned, but the broadband connection failed us that day, which is a stark reminder of the fact that for all the talk about the COVID crisis accelerating the demise of the old and bringing forth the new, the future we may wish is not yet with us always. About a year ago, we launched the European Green Deal. Before the crisis and still in the midst of the pandemic, this is about a dare to reimagine the future, an answer to the existential threats posed by the climate and environmental crises, a roadmap away from an economic model that relies on an ever-increasing use of a dwindling set of resources, a model that distributes growth unevenly and unfairly, a model that is tearing our social contract at the seams. The Green Deal is our claim to a different destiny, a more inclusive, greener and stronger society. Above all, a fairer future, leaving no one behind. First, because to be politically feasible, any transition will have to be fair. Bluntly put, the transition will be fair or will not be. Secondly, and equally important, because a fairer society is the destination itself of the Green Deal transition and the ultimate measure of its success. Arguably, nowhere is this more evident than in the area of housing. Having a roof above one's head is one of our most basic needs. Yet in housing, some of the greatest inequities of society occur. Over the past 5 years, housing prices increased much faster than household incomes in many places in Europe. Nearly 1 in 10 households spends over 40% of their income on housing costs. 1 in 3 of the people at risk of poverty are overburdened by housing costs. Winter is coming. While many of us have recently turned on the heating without even thinking about it, over 30 million Europeans hesitate. They know they will struggle to pay the bills. There is a profound unfairness in this, especially now that in so many places we're again confined to our home. Yet, if unfairness starts in the very places where we live and work, so can fairness. This is why the Renovation Wave is such an important initiative for our green transition. When Renovation Wave can bring together improvements with affordability as more efficient heating systems or better insulation can keep energy use low and affordable. Improvements with climate action, as the built environment is where a large share of cuts in greenhouse gas emissions can come from. Improvements with resource efficiency, for no longer should the materials we use end up in unrecyclable waste streams. Finally, improvements with better health, as poor sanitary conditions, low indoor temperatures, deficient air quality, and exposure to harmful chemicals nowadays contribute to poor health outcomes. Over the next 12 months, the European Commission intends to strengthen the incentives for public and private owners and tenants to undertake deeper renovations. We want to ensure adequate and well-targeted funding alongside an increase in the capacity to prepare and implement projects. To this end, we will, among the other measures, revise the energy efficiency and the energy performance of buildings directives, set up easier-to-apply state aid rules for building renovation, and propose the phased and affordable introduction of mandatory minimum energy performance standards for existing buildings. I am optimistic that we will succeed. Never before there has been such a shared understanding among the governments and private sector of the urgency and the usefulness of a renovation wave. The decisive factor, in my view, will be unprecedented scale. Scale in the scope of our measures simultaneously tackling all obstacles along all stages of renovation. Scale in the level of the financial support, as Next Generation EU makes available a higher level of resources than ever before. And finally, scale in the geographical spread of our initiative as the Renovate flagship of our Recovery and Resilience Facility triggers a coordinated effort across member states. I believe, therefore, that we can build on firmer ground and with better materials than before. Our renovation efforts should focus on the intersection between poverty, social housing, and energy efficiency. Poorly performing buildings have a large potential for improvement, but their renovation faces persistent barriers. Success will depend on cooperation between the private and the public sectors. It will also depend on innovation, be it in our regulation, in our financial products, or in the actual building products and project management. Grants, subsidies for renovation, microcredits, ESCOs, and more can help low-income households finance renovation. Similarly, standardized industrial solutions can enable cheaper and quicker renovation and can be of particular relevance for social housing. Renovation is clearly not just about energy efficiency. It will support jobs and small enterprises coming out of the corona crisis. It will help us reach our climate goals, and perhaps most importantly, it will improve the lives of our citizens, making true to our promise to leave no one behind. Our renovation wave has fairness at its heart, and is therefore at the heart of our recovery under the Green Deal. Because at the end of the day, learning to live within our planetary means requires learning to live for everyone's needs. If we don't, we face a Malthusian future of rising injustice, a future where access to dwindling natural capital will be rationed based on wealth and power. That is not the future we want. In the future, we will work for everyone in Europe, so that everyone should have a home to live and work in, a home to light, to heat or cool, without breaking the bank or breaking the planet. That is the future we will build together. Thank you.